Hi, I'm Ashley, KI4MTU, and you're watching Icom Radio News.
QRZ, K3 Lima Radio, QRZ. K1NRH 5905. Thank you, K3 London Radio, QRZ.
This time, we're bringing the show from the K3LR Superstation. I'll be participating in the CQ Worldwide contest, where some of the best contesters in the world will showcase their skills.
CQDX, come about 3 Lima Radio, K3 Lima Radio, DX, over.
We'll sit down and talk to Tim about this incredible radio station and get an inside look at a ham shack many only dream about. I got somebody. We also join special guest Mark, M0DXR, who shows me how contesting and the international Morse code make a 1-2 punch.
Mind your head on the way.
This very efficient and universal communications tool is alive and well. We'll see his Morse code skills in a major contesting event.
Fingers crossed. Where would I rather be, Barbados or K3LR? K3LR.
We'll learn about the Radio Society of Great Britain's very popular Islands on the Air program. It's contesting, DX, and Islands on the Air, this time on Icom Radio News. The antenna farm at K3LR. As you can see, Tim is really into the hobby.
My name is Tim, Tango India Mike, over.
Started the station in 1987 is when I bought the house and the property, and started out with one tower at about 120 feet, and then I saw that this was a very good radio location, so I decided to keep constructing more, and as time went on, we just kept going and going and going.
Here is the 40-meter tower. It's 190 feet tall. It's got two full-size 4-element 40s on it, one at 190, one at 118 feet. On top of the 40 is a 7-element 10-meter beam, so we've got 3 10-meter beams on that tower. We're standing in front of the 15-meter tower. That's a new tower for us this year. It's 160 feet tall. It's got 4 7-element Yagis, so we have 28 elements on 15 now. 80-meter verticals is 2 4-squares. The gain of 2 4-squares going towards Europe or going towards the Southwest, so makes it very, very competitive. We put down these ground systems. This is 120 radials under each one of the verticals. They work extremely well, and it's because of that ground system, because of the reflection that we get from the ground system, and we've lowered the ground losses. These 2 antennas here, the one on the right, is a 4-square just like that, but it's for 20 meters. And we just use it for listening only.
And we haven't walked to the back of your house, but what about the towers behind it?
The back tower is a 170-foot tower. It has 3 20-meter beams on it. There's 6 elements. And so you get 18 elements when you feed them all together. There's also the second station antenna for 40 is on there, and the second station stack for 15 is on that tower as well.
I've been doing contesting for about 34 years now. This is my one and only hobby. This is what I look forward to. It is a big part of my life.
It is all about the people and all about the relationships and all about the fact that amateur radio just opens doors for any type of work or any type of other hobbies with computers. I wouldn't be in the cellular telephone business if it wasn't for this hobby. So this is a key component to my success both in the hobby as well as in professional life.
LU8YE from Kilowatt 3 Lima Radio, over.
Right now, and what's been going on for the past 2 days, it's been very difficult to sleep. This is the most energetic contest of the season, and it's the first one of the season. There are 4 that will operate. This is the first one of the 4, the other one being the CW end of CQ Worldwide, and then the 2 ARRL DX contests in February and March. But we've made extensive changes since last March when we won the ARRL DX phone contest. And that was a three-peat. That was the 3rd time in a row that we had won that contest. So that, and we'll be going for number 4 this March. But to do that, to stay on top of the game, you have to constantly improve. Yeah. So the week after the ARRL DX contest in March, we had torn down antennas and we were redoing things. And so we have spent literally the last 6 months improving the station, putting up bigger antennas and more antennas and tweaking and changing and modifying to make it better so that when the guys come here later this afternoon, the station works better than it did.
Who are the people you're talking to?
I think you're going to find a wide variety. There are really encouraging signs of younger people finding the competitive side of this hobby as an attraction and want to be involved in this team aspect. When you think about the fact that you're doing this on wireless and you're using the ionosphere, which is going to give you a different contest every time. If we were to hold the contest on the internet, it would be very boring because there wouldn't be that unpredictable element of the ionosphere. You know, you let your mind go with how big can you make an antenna, how efficient can you make the antenna, what can you do to maximize your signal and then maximize your score.
It's good to see you. Thanks for coming, man.
You bet.
It's just a chance to be world competitors. We won last year, we won the year before. I think we won the year before that.
I think we excel and we do better because we have guys that really, really work well as a team. That's a very big part of our success.
Coming out here to K3LR is a unique experience.
So this is our coffee break area, and this is where the guys will come and get caffeine for the weekend. We've got about 18 different selections that they can choose from, and they're rated by the amount of caffeine that they have in them. So, for instance, we have espresso and Italian roast and Colombia, and here's Sumatra, which is the 5+, which is the highest power stuff that we've got. The 20-meter guys really go crazy over the 5+.
This is video in the making. K3 Lima Radio, QRZ.
And we can make macchiatos and cappuccinos and Milky Way things and all the foo-foo stuff. And we've got, even for the health freaks, we've got green tea and we've got some English breakfast and Japanese tea. In case the band opens to Japan, they can drink some Japanese tea.
That's just right.
Tim said, we've got some guys coming in to work 40 meters during the day. Sometimes it's slow. Maybe you could try it. Yeah, I definitely was apprehensive then, being that this is a huge, huge contest, the World Series of contests. I was scared, but I went down there anyway.
Kilowatt 3 Lima Radio, K3 Lima Radio, QRZ. CQ contest, Kilowatt 3 Lima Radio, Kilo 3 London Romeo, QRZ.
Kilowatt 3 Lima Radio, my first contest ever. Been looking to talk to anybody and everybody in Canada.
K3LR of the 3 Sierra Bravo Charlie, running QRP here.
73 is good luck to you.
Each position has its own radio, amplifier, and computer to aid in logging the contacts that count toward the final contest score.
CQ contest, Kilowatt 3 Lima Radio, Kilo 3 London Romeo, QRZ.
The operators try to pack in as many contacts as possible. The first contest weekend I would take part in featured voice communications, where hams trade signal reports and contact information. Got on, and here it is a little bit after 2, and I've been going, and it's been great. I haven't even thought about food. The second contest weekend is the Morse Code Contest. It's where operators use international Morse code to make contacts. It's a very simple form of communicating that is not unlike learning another language.
I see CW, or Morse, as a fascinating and rewarding method of communicating with people around the world.
Not needing laptops or large technology overhead to communicate, Morse code does its job just as it has for the last 100 years in radio communications.
I've been contesting now for around 6 years. I began at slow speeds, just giving away points and working a few new countries. Over the years, one tries to beat previous year's scores, and your level of competitive drive tends to increase.
Okay, we just had a very important addition to the K3LR station. It's highly technical. Every station has now got a bell. For every multiplier we work, we ring the bell. That wasn't a multi, by the way. 15 metres is rocking. We've worked, must be a good few hundred stations in Europe now. The band's been open since about, well, just before sunrise the band started to open. So we're looking pretty good. I think we're well above 2,000 Qs now overall, so K3LR's on the way for winning 4 contests in a year, so fingers crossed.
first break, went upstairs, took a shower. That lasted the whole 10 minutes, and now I'm back down here again, ready to go.
So I've been awake for getting on for 33 hours now. This is a much needed coffee. My eyes will stay awake now. Well, I can't stand here talking all day. I've got to get back and work some DX. Straight away. We've worked plenty of DX, lots of Europe, lots of Asia, lots of Africa. We've even worked stations down in Antarctica. So we're putting a big signal out to all four corners of the globe. It's incredible.
One of the most important ingredients for success is having a good team. Everyone at K3LR gets along and everyone understands each other. I found it remarkable how the 10-metre guys, N3GJ and W2AU, were on the band 24 hours a day, even when the band was closed at night, maybe making only a single QSO in this 10-hour period. Now that's dedication.
And we were talking about 10 meters, and it was one of the band is fun in the morning when it opens because you get a lot of good runs and it gets exciting for a while, but then after you work the band out and there's nothing left to work, it slows down, and it's just kind of, that's when it gets to be hard to keep interested. You got to keep plugging away and wait for that new one to come along.
In summary, the team are just very cool, knowledgeable people. Their operating style is world class and the results reflect this.
Next, we'll jump to another aspect of contesting. In this variation, hams activate islands around the globe.
In a world filled with invisible radio waves, a world made available at the speed of light, the island chasers seek the unique and the rare, radio stations operating on islands around the globe. From the smallest island to some of the most remote destinations on Earth, it is a hearty breed of radio amateur that keeps these islands on the air.
This is the world of the Radio Society of Great Britain's Islands on the Air programme. The IOTA programme was started in the early 1960s by Jeff Watts. His goal was to create a programme that would make the world's islands exotic DX locations for ham radio operators around the globe. 30 years later, the programme is larger and offers more award incentives than ever before. The challenge of putting these places on the radio map and giving others the chance to add them to their list of confirmed contacts is enjoyable for many radio hams. For those living on these islands, every day is a de-expedition, but some locations require more planning and logistical support. For some locations, hams are dropped off by boat, set up on sandy shoreline and put that place on the air to the world.
To learn more about the Islands on the Air program, go to www.rsgbiota.org. That wraps up another edition of Icom Radio News.
Listening here, this is Kilo 3 Lima Radio.
Being at this wonderful station and the energy of the operators makes my introduction into the world of radio sport that much more special.
Tim's done so much to make this station a world-class facility, and the scores say it all. In the phone contest, Team K3LR topped the scales and pulled out a whopping score of over 15 million points.
Your 20-meter guys are here.
That, armed with good multipliers on the lower bands, put Team K3LR on top. In our contest, we also made it through some tough noise and crowded band conditions. Our main competitors, KC1XX and W3LPL, both finished within 100,000 points of our own score. My other team members on 15 metres put up a good fight by putting in the hours. I know we'll be back better still next year. I'd like to thank Ashley and Team K3LR for all the hard work in front and behind the camera.
Thank you so much for having me. This is Ashley, KI4MTU, saying 73.
That's best regards, folks.
And we'll see you next time on Icom Radio News.
Integral to the operation. Absolutely.
This is the fuel.
Imperative.
This is the fuel that drives us.
Take a listen to this.